Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Diggity dank.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing News. Young Glow. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
That's right. This time we're going to talk some, Batgirl and Nightwing from Batgirl 14 through 17 from Rebirth. So it'll be the 2016 series. And we have some thoughts.
Oh, it says this one came out in August 2017.
Yes.
8 years. Dang.
Oh, yeah. "2017, I believe I did speak to Hope Larson about this series back then. I should go back and listen to that. I can barely remember it, but I did speak to her.
It's been so long.
It was one of the first interviews. Yeah, I was like, eh. All right. So, any Nightwing news on our boy here? I don't think.
I don't think so.
All right. All right. So I guess we can get to the issue. Should we just talk this out as one big thing, or?
Yeah, sure. If you want, however you want to do.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Which, I mean, this one is interesting because we basically flash back and forth because it has to deal with things that Dick and Barbara were doing as Robin and Batgirl, but then it has ramifications in the present. So.
Yeah, I like how it goes back and forth.
But the only thing that would kind of bug me about this is like, even in the present, and again, it's Rebirth. I mean, we've gone through how many changes. They still seem young in the present, even.
Yeah. The drawing, they're both of them. The drawings, they both look really young.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like they were like written like almost like they were young. But yeah, the art doesn't help that at all. They still look super young.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
And so does Barbara. I do want to say, so why the first time we see Dick's full Robin getup is, do they have like a little arrow pointing down to a scratch?
oh.
I was like, what? That was a weird design choice there.
Yeah, I'm opening up the app now. Is that the point where is that the first time they meet, or they just?
Yeah, where he's supposed to be watching the cheerleaders.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that she's like, "You're a dick." He's like, "Oh, you have no idea."
Yeah.
And again, we've talked about it before, but he's like, "Oh, your name's Barbara. That's like an old-fashioned name." And then when she finds out his name's Dick, she's like, "Boy, you talking about old-fashioned names."
Yes, very true.
But yeah, I mean, at least at this point, we're out of the New 52, and. But yeah, I remember. I think they were like trying to like write Barbara as like kind of younger in this era because again, we've got the whole Burnside costume thing and stuff. Yeah.
Well, they're always very nebulous about the ages.
Yeah, and I think it was more of like she wanted to be more on her own again, and it's just so weird though to see like the front of the suit like zipper up like it's like a winter jacket or something.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the boots are basically just like yellow combat boots. Mm. It also seemed kind of wrong in the beginning of the first issue where they're fighting twins, but it wasn't Double Dare.
Yeah, it was just two random people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I guess they had to go with a Alice in Wonderland motif.
Definitely. I did find it funny. See, and then when he pops up again, his suit is normal. They took away as the normal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did think it was funny that she works at the Chive Garden.
Instead of the Olive Garden, I know.
I love when they do stuff like that. Like in the other Nightwing series where instead of it being windows, whatever, it was curtains.
Mm-hmm. Oh my lord! But yeah, I love the first flashback. It's like Barbara just starting at Gotham High because they moved from Chicago, and she's like, "Man, I thought Chicago was bad. It's nothing compared to Gotham."
Right. Oh wait, I stand corrected. Then now it's back on the next page.
Oh wow! Oh, there.
Like, what is that? So weird.
Anatomically correct, Robin.
Yeah, it's always interesting how I feel like sometimes I don't know. It's always interesting to see if they throw in the Chicago thing with Gordon and Barbara and how, what they decide to do. But yeah.
And again, it's always a weird thing. It's like, is she his biological daughter? Is she like the niece or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like must be the daughter in this one.
I think, unless
I don't
it,
know. I mean, they don't really touch on
yeah,
it.
they really
So
don't tell you either way. But yeah, I mean, there were certain stories where it's like, I think there was a Legends of the Dark Knight where like the father was killed and then he kind of like they took her in and then moved to Gotham. There's been so many versions of that story.
I know, just because I don't know, they don't want
Mm-hmm.
them just because they don't want them to age or something.
And it's just so funny that it's, back in the day, she basically just had like a domino mask on her face, but now she has like a full Kyle. I'm like, oh, is this supposed to be like a learning thing? It's like, oh, she took too many shots to the head, so now she like covers the top of her head.
I mean, you would think with all that hair, you would want something more to keep it back.
Exactly. If you're like a redhead too, I mean, it's if somebody who knows you sees you, it's like it's kind of like, well,
Exactly. Yes.
but again, this is comics.
Right. But kind of partway in, so when it's weird. It's obviously Dick knows who she is, but at first she doesn't, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like, he says he's an orphan, but then he says, "I have Batman for those tough but fair, emotionally checked out dad vibes every boy needs."
uh, I know. So yeah, I'm wondering. I'm trying to remember if they ever explained this. So did Batman tell him who she is, or
I don't know. I don't think they covered it.
no? They didn't. I mean, it would have been cool if he figured out on his own to show, aha, he's becoming a master detective or something.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he knows who she is in the Batgirl year one because he makes that comment to Alfred, like, "I'd know Commissioner Doug Gordon's daughter anywhere," or whatever.
But again,
But
this
who
is
knows?
this is stories like this. It makes me. This is why I feel like these two need to be together because it's like those are some of the strongest relationships where like people are friends first and then start dating or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I guess Dick looks a little older as Nightwing, but yeah, not by much. Mm. Oh, and then in the first issue, in the flashbacks, we get introduced to Ainsley.
Yes. A
Uh,
computer programmer and teacher.
yes, and basically substitute teacher who took over the class because it's when the first teacher quit to get another job.
And we find the Mad Hatter in the here and now in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they thought, they see all these Alice in Wonderland theme crooks, and they think, oh, the Hatter, but then nope. But yeah, someone's circulating this drug. And 2 women are dead. Yeah, then we see Barbara starts a job at the Chive Garden, but then finds out Ainsley works there also. Because, hey, teachers don't get paid in the summer.
This is true. Well, I mean, you especially don't get paid in the summer as a substitute teacher because there's nothing to sub for.
True. I love at the one point when like Ainsley doesn't show up and Barbara's like covering her table. She's like, oh, thank God I have an eidetic memory. But yeah, Ainsley, her and Ainsley are going to meet up the next day, I guess, to work on a project.
Computer stiff.
Oh, she gets home and Gordon's all worried. He's like, where you been? She's like, I told you I was starting a new job. Why didn't you call? Like he seems like overprotective dad. But I mean, again, it's Gotham. It's
so true.
That's like the one time, it was like a month or two ago, Lilith and I were talking, and we're like, yeah, instead of snow days in Gotham, you get like, like rogue days, and, it's because it's like, oh, Mr. Freeze has frozen the whole half of the city, or umbrellas are exploding all over the street, something.
Or just the Joker. Yeah.
Gassing people or something, yeah.
It's hazardous, yes.
The minute she goes to her room, she puts on her Batgirl outfit and just goes out the window. Then Dick's up on the roof. I love parents. They're the worst, right? I mean, so I hear.
Right. That's where I said. That's where he gives that like. He has Batman for those dad vibes.
Yeah, he says I'm technically an orphan, but yeah. This is where Barbara starts to notice how cute he is. So then they go to a stakeout. But yeah, that's when they find Hatter in the hospital in the present. So
there's another Alice in Wonderland themed villain out there.
That's right. And Dick asking, "Oh, when's the last time you heard from Ainsley?" So we're trying to say, "Oh, this might be Ainsley." So, but the Hatter's like the Red Queen. But of course, the Red Queen's watching them, and that's the end of the first issue. All right, that was 14. Then in 15, boy, they're really doing that romance because in both versions of the cover they're kissing.
Yeah.
15 picks up right where 14 left off. They're still in the Mad Hatter's hospital room. But yeah, Barbara asks, the Red Queen heard of her Nightwing? She must be new on the scene. He goes, I'm usually up on the hot new trends and villainy, but no, Barbara, you should look into it. Maybe she's single. Should have been like, see current issues of Nightwing.
Oh, they broke up. But Dick takes it like a champ. He just goes, heh.
Then the Hatter goes into some kind of seizure. His heart stopped. I love give Hatter's heart a reboot while I go see what's up. I love Dick holding the paddles. You got it, Bats.
He looks really young in that illustration.
He does. That's what I'm saying. Some of the
Yeah.
faces, they look really young in these. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks really young in that one.
I don't know if it's just the artist is like trying to make them look similar to their younger selves, but then yeah, it's like really going for.
I mean, it's not entirely clear how much time has passed, so
That's true. I was like, it's like who knows these days? Who knows? It could have been last year when we were
that's
Robin
right.
and
Yeah.
Batgirl. Yeah. Then one of the doctor is freaking out and basically starts fighting Batgirl and Nightwing, calling herself the Red Knight. Although she pulls the fluorescent bulbs out of the ceiling and her and Nightwing are going. I'm like,
That is crazy.
those are glass. They're gonna break, which they do. And she tackles Dick, but then Barbara throws her cape over her head. So they lock her in this room, and then she starts like basically just like trying to get out, like banging her head into the door. Then Dick says they need an MRI machine, but then years ago, yeah, they're watching this. They're watching this party, and Dick's like, "Oh, we can borrow some clothes and go in." And she goes, "But we'll see each other's." He's like, "I promise not to look. I'm a gentleman." She's like, "No, ew, each other's faces." He's like, "I already know yours, Barbara. Kind of old fashioned." So then he tells her his name's Dick Grayson while they're changing. And you said my name was old fashioned.
Yeah, are they just like wearing the parents' clothes or something?
I think so, maybe, yeah. Yeah, because Dick even says our hostess's parents have a killer walk-in closet. We can borrow some clothes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the other skylight. Yeah.
I say because luckily they have a skylight in their closet. So, Barbara, we look ridiculous. We blend in more for work costumes. Dick, get real with that hair. You couldn't blend in if you tried. Then she's all happy. He's holding her hand. Then they go down to this party, and they're like, Dick's like, notice what's missing? No alcohol. But then they, the kids are listening to this weird song that they haven't heard of before.
I love that. I don't do pop. I'm going through a post punk phase, vinyl only.
Oh, the sliding time. Now it's like, vinyl, I'm into this old thing called vinyl.
Yeah. To be honest, that feels more like a Tim thing. Like you can see how they've had to update the Robins because it feels like when the Robins originally came on the scene, like that is 100% something Tim would say when he debuted in the 90s. Like, I'm gonna post punk phase.
I mean, just think when Dick first appeared, and now it's like, oh, that old thing vinyl.
And when Dick first appeared, he was totally like Beatle. He was like totally a top 40s guy.
I mean, honestly, he appeared before the Beatles. So.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, the kids seem to like this song. And then again, they got some kid, one of the kids freaking out. But they take him to the hospital, and he calmed down as soon as they pumped his stomach. But while Dick was talking to one of the doctors or whoever, Barbara's hacked the hospital's network. His stomach contents were negative for drugs, like the other kids who had OD'd on this stuff. No alcohol either. Those levels came back normal. And Dick's like, everything they tested for it, that doesn't mean there's nothing there. They're just asking the wrong questions. But Dick got a sample, so he's going to run it back to the cave. And then the alarm on her phone starts going off. She's like, oh, crap.
Gotta go.
Yep. She's like, it's time to get up. Call me with the results. I mean, yeah, I will. So then back in the present, they're putting that doctor in the MRI, but does not go good. Yeah, my
Yeah, he
stupid.
says the MRI will deactivate it,
Mm-hmm.
but
They end up like frying her.
yeah, she vaporizes.
Hold on, stupid app closed on me. Just updated it too. But yeah, that nurse or whoever tries to help him. So yeah, like, she turns up the power and yeah, basically just fries the doctor. Nothing but ashes.
Yeah, because then Barbara says she was 50 to 70% nanobots,
Mm-hmm.
which seems very high.
Dick's like, I meant to short her out, not snuff her out. But yeah, Dick's on Max. He's like, she was a victim. She needed our help. But then, yeah, she's trying to console him, and then she kisses him. And he's like, I can't do this right now. But then, yeah, Barbara's like, well, she had to been connected to Ainsley. What do we know about her? She was a psychiatrist, no kids, married, divorced, maiden name Filbert. Filbert with a PH, yeah. I know that name. Then we flash back to Barbara and Ainsley again, building her own little computer system here.
Doing the nano robotics, teeny tiny silicone critters with tons of scientific applications. Okey-doke.
Yeah, her client is using nanotechnology to produce chromosynthesia, the ability to see sounds as colors. There's a bug causing gnarly hallucinations in some of the tests.
Indeed.
So yeah, she says she has to go through all this code, and Barbara says she'll help. But then we see Ainsley get a call from a Dr. Filbert. So she says, oh, like, Barbara said she'll work on the code because Ainsley has to get a prescription refilled. And then later at the Chive Garden, Ainsley hasn't shown up. But when she gets there, she's all nervous because there's like three guys dressed in black there. And she's like, do they know I'm here? And she's like, no, what's wrong?
I mean, they do look a little less than friendly.
They look like they're from the Matrix.
They totally look like they're from the Matrix. Which, see, like, I don't think I'd want to interact with Matrix people.
I mean, it looks like it's night and they're sitting inside a restaurant while wearing sunglasses.
Totally the Matrix.
Totally. So then Barbara texts Dick. See, kids sliding time. Now we're texting. And they followed the guys to, their home or what, but
to Purotech.
See Ainsley's picture on a dartboard. So then it ends
Bustin'.
It ends with Barbara saying, "Oh, Ainsley, what have you gotten into?"
I love though. So now we're in the next one. And they're like, Batgirl and Robin, you have no right to bust in here. And the other guy, stay back. I know karate.
You have no right to break in here. Yeah, because yes, vigilantes follow the letter of the law. I love the one guy, and when Robin disarms him, bleep already. Dick says that was quick.
Yeah, they're hackers. They don't really put up a fight.
But they say, the two of them, they're standing there saying, yeah, Ainsley's trouble. But they said, we fell for it too. Ask Harvey, the third guy. He used to date her. As he comes out of the bathroom.
Stinking it up. You see the
I know, yeah. They said he met Ainsley when she first came to town. She's going through a rough time. She had to drop out of MIT, some kind of problem with her sister. And that sent her into a tailspin. But yeah, they say she's a kick-ass hacker. Harvey convinced her to join the team. It was win-win. We'd help her. She'd help us. The other one's like, I never liked her. But she stole a bunch of their gear, trying to make it look like a robbery. And then she's mixed up with bad people. Like who? I saw the Mad Hatter chatting her up at the Robo Bar.
These places sound like some out of the Matrix. Pyrotech, Robo Bar? What the heck?
Hacker Cafe, man.
Right, yeah. Pretty much.
All right, DC, your app's getting on my nerves.
Oh, was it shorting out on you?
They were it's like closing the issue and stuff. And
all right, but so they say Hatter is selling EMJ, but it's unstable. It's a nanotech. And he says, it's totally customizable. You buy the bugs, you download the program you want, and you get the experience you want. You can even set it so you'll have the same trip at the same time as a group of people.
Yes, kids. So not only can you program your high, but you can do it with your friends.
An emoji, EMJ, the song was the program.
So, yeah, Barbara's like, let's go. And then he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I'm freaking out. Ainsley's helping Hatter design these nanobots, and I was helping her develop them. Ugh, I feel so gross. I was working for a drug dealer for free. I donated my time to an illegal enterprise.
I also love this one. She's a contractor. Maybe she doesn't know what Hatter's up to. Dick, is this fear of confrontation a Midwestern thing? I was like, ouch, I felt that.
He says, why give her the benefit of the doubt when you could ask her? Scrapping with baddies is a million times easier than finding out a friend might be mixed up in something bad. And he says, yeah, Ainsley is Barbara's friend, not Batgirl's, remember? He said, I think you can delay a while longer. Isn't that her down on the street? Looking suspicious in a bad part of town. So they watch her meet up with somebody and then go down into this basement.
Robin pops up with the tech. I just got a new bat mic.
God, it has a wire at least. I'm surprised it's not Bluetooth at this point.
No, this is when they're kids.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, I guess it's almost like an AA meeting because she's saying about Ainsley's telling this group about how her sister found out she was using, told their parents. They were helping me with tuition. They said they'd stop paying unless I went to rehab. So I dropped out and went to Seaboard Recovery for a month. Then I moved down here to work for a while and save money so I could go back to school. But instead of sticking with the plan, I'm working for a dealer who pays me in drugs. But yeah, she says she doesn't talk to her sister anymore. She's too angry at her. I'm ready to get clean. For real, I was a psychiatrist and I'm journaling, which helps. But yeah, Barbara feels weird about listening to this, but Dick's like, we have to. We're on a case. Oh, and then I guess this is their first kiss.
Aww.
But then in the present, they go check out Seaboard Recovery, which
Again, they look super young in that picture. Yes, I was just thinking in the picture where they're in the car. I'm like, oh my god, they look like babies.
Looks like they have their permits. It looks like there's 16 other permits.
I know. I'm like, how are they even old enough to drive?
Yeah, especially Dick looks really young there.
Right, he does. And
You
so
get,
it turns out the seaboard people are drugged out on nanobots.
yep. So I guess they changed the costume on the way in because we see them running in the door as Dick and Barbara, but then next time we see them, they're Nightwing and Batgirl.
Well, they did get a warning when a chair came through the door before they
Yes,
even got in.
but basically the Red Queen is like programmed the staff to be like, "Oh no, we're not helping you. This is all just a scam." I love right before they throw the first punch, Dick and Barbara basically like, they want you to give up. Don't listen. You're not in this fight alone. Then that woman tries to hit Barbara with the potted plant. So Dick's like, there's too many of them. We need a strategy. Barbara's like, I think I've got a magic bullet. She's like, what do you need from me to do? She goes, nothing. Just hold them off till I get back. He's like, nothing, she says.
But he gets some help from a patient.
Yes.
Guy comes out with a mop.
But Barbara's like, if the Red Queen is Ainsley, she probably based these new bots on the ones she made for the Hatter. And if she recycled her original code, pulls out her iPod or whatever.
I think so, yeah.
And plays the that emoji song. This is basically the trigger, but it calms the staff down. I love that patient. What's happening? What's that song? Nightwing. It's a deep cut from DJ Batgirl. So they lock him in one of the padded rooms. And Barbara's like, I want to know is how did the Red Queen dose the whole staff? Dick's like, I got a hunch. It was nanobot laced coffee and donuts.
Dastardly.
Yep. But yeah, then they find the files, and Dick's like, what's Ainsley's last name? Wells. So they check the file. Dick, let's see, therapist notes. Lots of anger at her family, didn't have faith in the process, didn't want to accept responsibility for actions, refused to see her sister when she came to visit, and then, Barbara, you dropped one, and she picks it up. And they find out, Ainsley's dead. I guess she OD'd on the street, been homeless for months, she was alone. But she's like, she was always writing in her journal. I'm sure she wrote about us. Says her effects were picked up by her Edith Wells, her sister. She's like, but if Ainsley documented what we did back then, Edith read about it. Edith is the Red Queen. She's got evidence and motive. She lost her sister. But they see, the woman. They get to see a picture of Edith, and it's one of the people they were just fighting. But now she's gone. She's just toying with them. Yeah, Dick's like, hindsight's 2020, and Barbara's like, we keep screwing up over and over. We failed. We lost the Red Queen. But he says, yeah, now we know who the Red Queen is. We can find her and put this behind us. And she says, before we do that, leave it in the past. Will you do something for me? What do you need? Will you come home with me? And then
we see how, because she talks about how Ainsley must have written about them, but up until this point, I don't think Ainsley knows anything about Batgirl and Robin. So it's like, why would she be journaling about them? Aha, now it is about to be revealed.
Yes, back in the past, we see Barbara's like, we have to take down the Mad Hatter. And Robin says, I want to help her, but the Hatter's too dangerous. She's like, what? For us, Robin, or for me? He says, you're twisting my words. What do you want to do? Call Batman and make him take care of it? He's like, hey. She says, together they can do this. I'm not afraid, are you? And Robin, hell no, I'm not afraid. So on the last page, they show them breaking in on the Hatter.
Dun, dun, dun.
God, that looks like the worst potluck dinner ever. Except everything cooking on that big table.
Now the app did it to me. It kicked me out.
Oh no. Is the DC app that bad? Two people can't read the same issue at once.
I don't know. I'm coming back in.
I was gonna say I just updated it too, and it was still giving me problems there. So yeah, that was the end of 16. So then we'll get to the 17, the conclusion. Oh, two good covers on this one. The one where the Red Queen's tackling Barbara out of the window, and then that black and white one with Dick and Barbara.
Stabbing her.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't like the black and white. They use the good effect there. But yes, it opens up back in the past again, and they're about to take on Hatter and his goons. Barbara, it's Ainsley, take your laptop and get out of here. And she's like, how do you know my name? Then the Hatter's getting away. Barbara runs after him. And then she gets to the Mad Hatter. I love, what are you mad about? Whatever you're mad about, I didn't do it. I'm done with drugs. The stuff I'm making now is harmless, practically legal, like e-cigarette. Oh. Again, back in the day when Dick first appeared, they thought real cigarettes were good for you.
I know, Bruce was always smoking his pipe around him in the really early ones.
Put some hair on your chest, kid, say.
Bruce legit had a smoking jacket.
I know, man. Bruce was like half before half, man.
As all the rich playboys do.
Smoking jacket, I'm sure he was smoking that pipe in the study. Yeah.
Yeah. Natch.
And I love there's no evidence it's harmful, Barbara. No evidence because no one studied it. But he's like, what do you want? She's like, stop developing EMJ and leave Ainsley Wells alone. If I find out you've been giving her any more drugs, he's like, a friend of yours, you should be thanking me for keeping her alive. You think I want her to OD? She's no good to me dead. But face it, she's an addict and always will be. As he starts attacking Barbara, actually like stabs her in the shoulder.
Yeah, with his little quill pen.
Yeah, he's like, if she weren't getting drugs from me, if I were paying her cash, she'd be using it to buy pills from someone else. At least this way, she's under control.
Barbara's like, oh no, bro.
Well, the Hatter tries to get away, and then she throws, I guess, a flare and just starts pounding on him until Dick has to like pull her away. Stop.
Yeah, she F's him up good.
Stop before you kill him. Look what you did. He's all messed up. She's like, oh God, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I couldn't see. Dick's like, that's no excuse. You didn't want to see. When I said you'd have to get your hands dirty, this isn't what I meant. There's no reason to go this far. You crossed the line. We all have darkness inside us, but you can't let it consume you, okay? And then they shake hands. Partners. Then back in the present, yes, Dick must have slept over on the floor. Because she says, you could have shared the bed. Yeah, he's like, I'm not over Sean yet. But then they get dressed. They're going after the Red Queen. She's like, nothing's changed, has it? She's like, I hope I didn't make things complicated. He goes, you didn't make them more complicated, but they're not any simpler either.
So, stasis.
Exactly. But yeah, so they go to South Burnside because Ainsley's sister recently incorporated a business for an online rare book dealership, Carroll's, as in Lewis Carroll. So they find the isolated warehouse. It's obviously a trap. It's obviously too obvious to be a trap.
Like, it's not a trap, it's a game. So it's kind of a trap.
Exactly. So they go in, they see the Red Queen. Barbara tries to talk her down. Edith, whatever you got planned for us, it won't bring Ainsley back. I know you're upset about what happened to her, but she's like, what happened? Don't try to sanitize it. She overdosed on the streets of LA. You wouldn't help her. Now her blood is on your hands. And Dick's like, step off the moral high ground. 3 women are dead because of you. The Red Queen, I'm not masquerading as a hero as you are. You could have helped her, but when things got ugly, you turned your backs. And Barbara's like, we were teenagers, we were kids, we tried, we didn't know how to make her well. We weren't responsible for the actions of an adult woman. Even Ainsley looked young too.
Yeah, well, she was college age, so it wasn't that many years ahead of them. Yeah, I feel like this was an interesting story, but yeah, you're kind of like, Edith, wow, like, you killed a bunch of people and are trying to get revenge on teenagers for something that nobody could have. I mean, taking advantage of them, like getting revenge on the Mad Hatter, that makes sense, but everybody else, it does not.
Exactly.
I mean, I understand when you have grief that, like, it does make sense because when you have grief, you're not thinking clearly or whatever. But yeah, like Barbara says, we were teenagers, we're not responsible for the actions of an adult. Like, yes.
And again, the Red Queen doesn't know who they are, right? So all she knows is Robin and Batgirl just broke up like a drug lab, right? That's all.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I think maybe that's why she thinks they weren't trying hard, because yeah, maybe they don't know that.
Like I could see like her being this angry if she knew who Barbara was, but she doesn't.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Barbara's the one that calls calls the ambulance for her a little bit later. So,
but yeah, the Red Queen turns out the light, and they're like, "They turn on the lights. We aren't going to play your game if you won't show us the board." She's like, "As you wish." And they're not nanobots; they're regular size bots. One actually bites Dick on the ankle. Oh yeah, gives Dick a nano cocktail. So Barbara pulls him out, but then she's like, wake up, come back to me. He's like, not your buddy, not Nightwing. Who are you then? The Red King. So then Red Queen has him fighting Batgirl.
wait, first she gives him like a little Burger King crown.
That's right, a red one, yeah. But she says, there's no hell like watching someone you love slip away from you, watching them turn on you. So she said, pet, she disgusts me, get rid of her. So Dick's trying to fight her. You offend my lady's eyes and you offend my ears. Because she tried the song again, the song won't work on Nightwing. Then she's like, I have to remind Dick who he is. That's it. If you can't remember, I'll remember for him. I may be able to rewrite the nanobots in a system with the. Oh yeah, that's when she uses the basically the chip in her spine that helps her walk again. Yep. I can transfer the data with a pulse from the electromagnets in my gloves. It might short out my implant, but I don't know. I think this is a little hand wavy. I'm here.
It's definitely some comic book science.
Yes. So yeah, so basically, I don't know if it's just helping Dick remember, or if she's like actually supposed to be intentionally giving him memories.
Yeah, I mean, I think she is giving him memories because it overrides the nanobot that went in
Mhm.
there.
Because there's like one memory where she's thinking to herself, "Oh, he's cute without a mask," and he's like, "You thought I was cute."
Yeah.
Mm, mm. But yeah, her implant is out, so she can't walk. So he's like, "Girl, if you wanted a piggyback ride, you could have just said so."
Oh, Ainsley's like making this bot suit.
Oh yeah, all the bots, yeah. Mm. But then Dick, Batgirl, do you trust me more than anyone? Then let go. So he holds her by the legs, and she basically just smashes the armor with her arms. Makes Edith fall to the ground. But then we see another flashback where basically Barbara's like, asking Ainsley at work, "Are you all right? You were out all last week." She's like, "Family emergency." But then I guess, Ainsley's still using, and then
Batgirl checks on her a couple of times, and yeah.
yeah, Barbara finds her passed out on the floor or whatever. She calls the ambulance, telling her dad, "I'm sorry, Dad. I want you to know I never did drugs with her." He's like, "I know. You did the right thing. You saved her life." Then we see Robin come see her. But then she's like, "I don't want to think about her anymore." And like, okay, and he kisses her. "I'm sorry, that's not what I can't, but I thought." "Dick, yeah, we're still friends, right, Babs? I think you're my best friend." So yeah, then she's like, "Yeah, and I can trust you to stick around. I lost my mom and Ainsley, and I don't want to lose you too." So I guess he's helping Barbara get that while her leg's working. They show Edith locked up. "I'll always be here for you, Babs, forever, no matter what." And then last pages show those two swinging away.
Ta-da!
Mm-hmm. So, what you think?
Yeah, I like it. I thought it was good. I mean, I feel like it was ridiculous for that woman to take her anger out on a couple of teenagers. I mean, they were teenagers at the time, but generally speaking, I thought it was yeah, I thought it was fun and I guess I kind of liked that it so it was fun, but low stakes doesn't feel like the right word. But you know how sometimes when they do these um it's a little more like, oh no, did they do something they shouldn't have or whatever? And like basically this one, the Robin and Batgirl did everything right, and it was just this woman's grief
Yes.
was making her target them. So I don't know, it was like sort of I mean, aside from some people getting murdered, it was like weirdly wholesome.
Yeah, I think the whole point was, yeah, just to come up with this story about, how the two of them kind of bonded back in the day.
Yes. And even though it was hand wavy, I mean, I guess you finally have the neural implant like come in for something. I mean, I don't totally understand how it works, but neural implants aren't really a thing, so I guess I don't really need to
Yeah, I don't.
understand how it works.
Yeah, the whole memory thing was weird because again, I think it's just like a chip in her. It was a chip in her spine that, like, just so the electrical impulses could travel from her brain to her spine and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
let me hardwire this. Let me
I
hack
think
it.
it would have made more sense maybe if she had just like, I don't know, done some kind of pulse that would have like messed up the electricity or something and that would have shut the nanobots off, but
Yeah, like an electromagnetic
whatever.
pulse or something. Yeah,
Like,
because
like you said, hand wavy, I'll allow it.
I mean, you could have had the same effect. She could have been like, "Oh, I can set off an EMP, but it's going to take out the chip in my spine too." She could have.
Like, yeah.
Couldn't
It
she
was
have
good.
just, couldn't she have just said something like, "Oh, remember these these times," and then just could have had him flash to the memories on his own or something?
Yeah, but it had to have something to do with the bots
Yeah.
since they're both technology. I don't know. This must be a computery thing.
That's right.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Like I said, it was actually pretty wholesome, all things considered.
Yes. Yes. All right. Anything else?
I just wanted to say that I bought this and I finally got around to reading this novel. So obviously it's mainly about Batgirl, but Dick does appear in it, and it's pretty good.
Oh,
It
okay.
actually does involve the supernatural. There's really a demon in it.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So that's kind of cool.
Nice. I'm going to check that out. All right. So, again, next time, kids, you know what we're going to be covering. New issues again. New issues of Nightwing, Titans, Batman and Robin Year 1. Maybe some World's Finest. So again, send us your thoughts when those come out. Send them quick. Or again, you can always send them, and we always read them after the fact. So, all right. All right. So yes. So send us your thoughts on those. On heck, anything you've heard. Again, we don't mind reading after the fact. We want feedback. Do you have to pump you full of nanobots? Come on. All right. So
We don't have the technological know-how for that, Phil.
no, not yet.
Also, we don't have the money for that.
That's right. Oh, that's definitely yes. All right. So
stuff's expensive.
yes. All right, kids. So yes, email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all episodes at CapesLunatics.wordpress.com. You can also help support us by buying merch from TeePublic and Spring, or rain random money on us through the Cash App link. And of course, you can always help support us and get extra content by subscribing to our Patreon, which you can do at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. All right, but you can also, and you should, if you want to learn all about Dick Grayson, because it is the 85th anniversary. So, but go on Amazon right now. Go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Again, you think you know it all, but you don't. So, let Kristen and friends tell you what you don't know about Dick Grayson. And again, when you buy this book, you help support an educator. Let's not make our friend Kristen here work at the Chive Garden.
Oh yeah, I don't have an eidetic memory. I'd be so bad at it.
Sometimes I think an eidetic memory would be a curse, because it's like, yeah, you remember all this good stuff, but you probably remember all the bad stuff too.
Yeah, I think it would be a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to forget. Actually,
Exactly.
frequently.
Oh, yeah, I remember I had this bad day like 5 years ago. It's like, all right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Again, next 2 weeks, get some Electric Mullet, and then come back again. We'll review the new issues. So yeah, so not once but twice, Mad Hatter just got beat up in this story.
Yeah, he got beat up a lot.
Mm-hmm. All right, kids, come back next time. Remember, join us same wing time,
Same wing channel.
the Nightwing News. And remember, friends don't let friends do nanotech. Good night.